Hello everyone, Reverend Cole here from Selkirk United Church with another midweek message. It is March 10th today, 2021. First of all, a quick beef dinner update. We are sold out for this coming Sunday's beef dinner, and that is great news for many and for us, but disappointing news, I hear, for some others who have phoned in and wanted tickets after we sold the last one. So sorry about that, our apologies. We did increase the number of dinners from 200 to 300 over last fall to this spring. And yet, it seems like there is more hunger out there yet. Maybe we'll have to increase again for our next one. Who knows when that'll be, but it's a success story, that's for sure. Thanks so much to all those who have volunteered, those who bought tickets, and those who have made donations. So we're still accepting donations for those who'd like to donate on for the cost of the meat and some other costs involved for putting on the dinner. So thanks so much to all of you. Next, some more thanks to give for the youth service. What a wonderful service that was this past Sunday. Thanks so much to Chris and Charlene and Brenda and the youth themselves, to Pat Bird, anyone who had anything to do with that youth service being put on. If you missed it, it's still on YouTube. Go back and check out Sunday's service. That was March the 7th. And what else? Oh yes, we have the Steinbach United Church service coming up this coming Sunday. We'll have our own, of course, but Steinbach United is celebrating becoming an affirming ministry officially. And they have actually invited us and anyone else who wants to join them for their Zoom service. And that is coming up Sunday. You do need to send a note to them so that you can receive the invitation. There is a deadline for that, and I believe it is Thursday. That would be tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this. So if you have any interest in taking part in the Zoom service for Steinbach United this coming Sunday, do let us know or let them know right away, and hopefully you can make it in time to be part of that. And I think that's all for news and notes. I also wanted to share with you something that I saw online the other day. It was an interesting little note about ancestors, particularly our own parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and so on. It was a bit of a different take on it than what I've seen before, but it certainly made me stop and think about my own ancestors and also how many people I'm related to and connected to. There's some mathematics involved in this one, so if you are one of those people who hates math, you might not like it, but just bear with me and we'll get to the point eventually. It's called ancestral mathematics, and it starts by saying, in order to be born, you needed 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, which is another way of saying great-great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, which is another way of saying great-great-great-grandparents, and it's actually a much easier way, so I think I'll just stick to that from now on. 64 fourth great-grandparents, 128 fifth great-grandparents, 256 sixth great-grandparents, 512 seventh great-grandparents, 1,024 eighth great-grandparents, and 2,048 ninth great-grandparents, which is another way of saying great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. I think I got that right. Anyway, if you add all of those people up, for you to be born and alive today from 11 previous generations, you needed a total of 4,094 ancestors over the last approximately 300 to 400 years or so, depending on how old you are today and how old all of those people were when they had children. It went on to say, think for a moment. How many struggles, how many battles, how many difficulties, how much sadness, how much happiness, how many love stories, how many expressions of hope for the future did your ancestors have to undergo for you to exist in this present moment? Isn't that an interesting thought and a big number? It's a lot of people in a family tree, and those are just the direct descendants, the lineage. That doesn't include all of those people's brothers and sisters, other children, who would be your aunts and uncles, great aunts and great uncles, great great aunts and great great uncles, etc., cousins, second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, twice removed, and all that. That's a whole lot of people to be connected to. Not to mention all the people along the way who weren't even related to all of those ancestors at all, but they felt like family in every way that mattered. They were family. And what about our connections to our church family? What if we added all of those people to the list? The people in our church family that we are connected to, and the people in our parents' church family that they were connected to, and the people in our grandparents' church family that they were connected to, and so on and so on. What would that number look like? And then, taking it further, we have the concept that comes from our indigenous sisters and brothers, that we are all connected. Those of us who are doing the Lenten reflection just read about this the other day, and some of us were talking about this in our online gathering just yesterday. One of the reflectors, Sheng Ping Guo, talked about the indigenous concept of all my relations, which means that we are related to all of creation. Human beings, animals, and plants are our relatives. We are to exist in a relationship of harmony and balance with all things. God's deepest longing is for us to exist in right relation with one another, to respect and to care for all living things. That certainly takes it far beyond our own lineage. What a family tree that would be if we included all living things. For those of you who are interested in genealogy, you've got your work cut out for you if you want to start working on God's family tree. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to see it. Well, my extended family, that's all I've got for today. Be well, be thankful, be safe. And God bless you today as you think about your ancestors, your relatives, all your relations, and your place in God's family. See you next time.